Hello and good evening, and welcome to DJNTV's Boston John's Record Roundup. I am Boston John, of course, your host. Welcome to the show. We've got a panel with us today. We've got Eric that's here with us. We've got Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hi.
We've got Howie is here today, and we've got Aaron all the way up from Canada. So I'd like to welcome everyone and say thank you for being here and participating. Quickly want to say thanks to our sponsor that helps keeps our shows being broadcasted on DJNTV. It's DJ Event Planner. You'll be able to find their information in the link just in the video's description below. So please check them out. To kick things off, I pulled one up. I know I have more than the one I have, but this one had the picture sleeve, so I thought this would be it's one of the three that I have, because this young lady had three really big singles from 87 to 90, and her name is Pebbles.
Pebbles. Nice.
Pebbles. Okay. Her backstory, I don't know how she got involved with Charlie Wilson, which the Wilson crew is famous for Gap Band. He is one of the producers, so it's kind of an R&B, kind of a funk feel, but she came along in 87. Her first track was Girlfriend, which was poppy and popular. This one here was Mercedes Boy. R&B pop. This is Mercedes Boy. This was the middle song. This was 89, I think.
Yes.
But that's one of her looks, and this is
that's the first album. Yeah.
Yep. So Mercedes Boy, I think, was probably my favorite of them. And then 90s, she had given you the benefit.
That's my favorite.
And that's a jam. So,
oh my God, that's a beautiful, that's my favorite Pebble song.
So there's it's the trifecta, and she was just on fire for a while. She's married to L.A. Reid, who produced TLC. And hung out with Babyface, so she was really in the scene for a while. Maybe that's why she put out music. She can sing. Her stuff is catchy. And of those three songs, they're all great. And if you can't remember them, once you play them, you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that one. That's been on.
Give Me the Benefit is an amazing track. Now, she founded TLC, didn't she?
I don't know if she founded them. LA,
she was very instrumental with that.
Yeah. Because that TLC broke, what, 90, 91?
Yeah, I think she's
Sexy Cool.
Instrumental in that. Yeah.
It's kind of the same sound, like the bouncy TLC stuff kind of sounds like her, but a lot of that stuff had that New Jack Swing bounce to it. But they're good floor fillers. I can't believe I didn't put a BPM sticker on this, because I was pretty good about that back in the day. But check out Pebbles.
Yeah,
that's her stage name.
Pebbles is tons of fun.
Pebbles is tons of fun. I pulled her up on the wiki just to let you know she's still with us, born in 64, and based out of Atlanta. She's a minister now.
Wow.
So little backstory, what's cooking with Pebbles. So check her out. That's my pick of the week.
Good pick.
Eric, what do you get for us?
I'm going to go off the charts. You guys might be a little surprised at my pick tonight, but it's Storms of Life, the album by Randy Travis that was released in 86. Went to number one on the country charts. I see Aaron shaking his head. He's familiar with this artist, I'm sure. And
absolutely.
The interesting thing about this album, which I thought was great, before the album was released, Randy, you know how these record labels are. He was with Warner Brothers. We need a single. So Randy gave him On the Other Hand as a single. It only went to 67 on the charts. But by the time the album was released, they said, because Randy Travis kept asking the label, can we re-release On the Other Hand? And they finally said, yeah, once the album was released, you got your wish. And sure enough, at that point, it went to number one, that single. Several others that charted well, Digging Up Bones, Storms of Life, 1982. And from there, he just went skyrocketed.
Yeah, what was Forever and Ever Amen on?
That was the second one. It was Always Forever. That was the album that was on. And of course, we all played that at every damn wedding, I'm sure. You know.
Oh, sure.
Whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Randy, I've always liked him. I liked his style. It was just, he brought the old country back. You know?
He was an old soul. Yeah. Kind of like Lyle Lovett in that regard.
He brought the George Jones back into the scene. You know, and he was just, his voice, as soon as you heard that first lyric, you knew it was Randy. You know, he's got that distinctive voice. I've always been a huge fan, you know.
He's
So
good. I like him. Yeah, he seems like the real deal to me. He's not
Yes.
acting a part or like I could be doing industrial goth music, but I think I'll do country instead, which is
No, he's
vibe I
got a
give to
voice.
everybody today.
He's got a voice built for country. Absolutely.
He's a country artist, you know.
Yeah.
He had a massive stroke.
Through
Yeah,
and
He
through.
did.
a couple
Yeah.
years up with a massive stroke, and I don't know if we'll ever see him on the stage again.
Mhm.
He's still with us though.
He is. He's still alive, and I see him on interviews here and there, and you know, you, Brian, of all people, can relate to having a stroke, and you, luckily, it didn't affect your speech. Randy, it did. I mean,
Well, it did a little bit, but yeah, Randy, I don't know that he's verbal, but yeah, I mean,
don't
he's
think he
still
is
here.
now.
You know, he's
And,
still here.
I'll put an additional recommendation on Randy Travis for Three Wooden Crosses on the right side of the highway. If you ever listen to that one, that's a
Right.
hard.
Yeah. A really good song. What was
Yeah,
really
good song.
cool is when he did that duet with Carrie Underwood that really invigorated his chart listing. So they did a big collab on an award show. I don't remember the run. And it put Randy back on the map.
It was "I Told You So," right? Was
I
that
Told You So. Yep. I Told You So was the duet with Carrie Underwood. And because she was so popular at that time, and she recognized what a great artist he is too, as you did, and put him back up there.
well, not just me, like Scott McCready. I don't know if you guys are. You
Yeah,
have
he was
to.
an Idol winner or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the Idol guys too.
I mean, a lot of people got inspired by Randy because he's the one that brought the old country back, traditional country. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't pop music that kind of sounded country. It was real country.
And at first, many labels turned them down, saying it's too country for us. Right?
Right.
I mean, growing up with real country like Roy Acuff and Hank Williams, and then you hear Ronnie Millsap and those guys coming through the 70s and 80s and Oak Ridge Boys, and to hear something that sounded like the old soul, old school country was nice.
A break, and they never regretted it. And look at him now. I mean, he was great. He inspired so many people like Art Brooks, all these country stars out there. Toby Keith, and God rest his soul. You know, you did a thing about Toby.
Yeah, we mentioned Toby in the last show. But, country's making a comeback. It's changed its colors again like a chameleon, but the new country's getting popular. So I like your pick.
Johnny Cash shirt. Didn't know you were doing that tonight. The country show, but
Well, no, I started with Pebbles. Brian said he wants to see what everyone else picks before he makes his.
I already made my pick.
Oh, you made your pick? All right, then we will put you next. So you go ahead next then. What do
You
you
want to
have?
go next? Okay.
give her, Brian.
Unless you want to change your mind. You want the
No, I don't care. No,
you take
we're
number
we don't-
two and wait to the end.
You know, before the show, I looked at a record that it was just kind of at the end. I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
And I thought, well, let's see where they go with it. But, you know, I've decided that I like it when we mix shows up. I like it when we have multiple genres and we're not just talking about one thing. It's cool when we all stay on a theme. It's also cool when we go all over the place and divulge from anybody.
We should tell the viewers that we don't plan in advance what we're going to pick, and sometimes
I
it just
don't.
lines up
I
like
certainly don't.
like a Swiss watch. Everyone's on the same page.
Right.
You know,
Right.
sometimes.
I've talked about albums of a generation, like the one that I can remember that I brought up. I feel like that my generation's Billy Joel album is Glass Houses. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. And some people make those Nylon Curtain, it's River of Dreams. Now, to me, it's Glass Houses. That's the album from Billy Joel. And I did a whole thing on that. And I don't have quite the dissertation on this one, but I wanted to share with you what I believe is my generation's Rolling Stones album.
Okay.
And that would be Tattoo You.
Oh, I love. Yeah.
Mhm.
That is a great record.
It's my generation, and you know what? It's funny. She's got tattoos all over her face, and that was really shocking when this came out. But this would be very normal today.
Well, now she works at the gas station. I see
Now
her.
she works.
Monta
Yeah.
Phillips.
Yeah, she's like my niece now or something. Yeah, it's very normal.
Looks like a female Post Malone, actually.
I saw the best meme last week that I'll just tell you about. You don't even need a visual. It was a picture of a guy, you know, just a guy with his shirt off and shorts. And it was, come see the amazing untattooed man. And it was kind of thinking to myself, yeah, that's kind of the unusual thing now.
That's the
To not have
rarity, yes.
tattoos.
Right.
Yeah, and that would be me. I'm the amazing untattooed man.
Yeah.
But now off of this one, and you know, kind of rolling this into the DJ thing. If you are a DJ and you're doing a rock set, you can totally do a song off of this record called "Start Me Up." You can still play it. That was the big hit off of here.
Still hear that at sporting events. They're still playing that.
Yeah.
And that was what, 1980, I think, right? Or
Yeah, 80 or 81. I don't have my reading glasses on, so I can't tell you. By the way, that is what Keith Richards would look like in 1981 if he had tattooed his face. That's definitely
he hasn't aged at all in 50
there.
years.
No. That I don't. No, that is not Mick Jagger, but that is definitely. I don't think that's Mick Jagger.
That might be Mick.
I always thought it was a chick. Is that really Mick? That would be a trip, man.
That looks like it's Mick, a much younger, thinner Mick, jazzed up with ink.
That would be a trip if that was Mick. I always assumed it was a chick. Wow.
It's a chick.
But that's definitely Keith.
Oh, for sure, that's Keith.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, my whole world just changed. If that's really Mick,
I don't know.
my whole world changed. Anyway, the song that's on here that's really cool, that I really like, and it's just kind of a cool bluesy jazzy song, is "Waiting on a Friend." I think it's a great song, and they talk about different artists who go through these stages where, like they talk about Bowie goes through his Berlin phase, you know, when he's living in Berlin and he's doing things with the pop or whatever in the mid-70s. This was the Rolling Stones, part of their New York phase. And that was Miss You was part of that too, and that whole thing in the late 70s. But this was very, when I hear this album, it just sounds like New York City. It doesn't sound like London to me. I don't know about you.
Oh, he's in New York City. He's always singing about New York. They must have spent a lot of time in New York. I think one of those tracks they sat on they kind of held them because they were in that disco phase. Yeah. And then when this record came out, like, because Start Me Up doesn't sound like Miss You or Emotional Rescue.
Right.
But I think they had it, and it just didn't fit the records till there. And that's an awesome pick. That's a great record.
No, it's a fun record.
And Little TNA off that.
Little TNA is a great one on there too. Yep.
Yeah.
I want to explain that to our younger viewers, what that actually means. Go ask your folks.
Oh, Emotional Rescue was on.
No, that was on the same album as Miss You, I think.
A little earlier, yeah. Tail end of the 70s.
Yeah, Sucking in the 70s or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway,
a good pick.
Yeah, that was earlier. This everybody I knew had this. If you were, well, and again, I probably ran around with weird people, but even at that young age, my friends were connoisseurs, and this record was in a lot of people's record collection.
There was the Holy Trifecta. You had Genesis, Abbey Cab, Tattoo You was there, and Back in Black was there. It's on everybody's house.
Yeah, or those about
that was the 1980 record. 80, 81. If you went to a friend's house, they had those three records. It was guaranteed. Yeah. That was Something Comes Alive.
Actually, I'm thinking back. The people who had this record are the same people who had, like, Rick Springfield, Working Class Dog, which was a great record, by the way.
A little later than that one,
and maybe Asia's first self-titled album too. I mean,
that's a good possibility. It's all in the same time. Yeah, it's a good bubble, and they're all kind of different. They all sound very different. Music was different back then. Not
if
everything
you had
was
really cool friends. They had a copy of Tom Tom Club, the first Tom Tom Club record too. So
awesome. So
those are really cool.
That's to you, Brian's pick. That's his Rolling Stones timestamp for his generation.
Maybe it's not my generation. Not everybody will agree with me. Some people will say, "No, it's Undercover." Nope, it's Tattoo You. That's my pick.
I agree.
I like that one too because Undercover was kind of a new sound for them. They kind of started sounding like to Chaos.
I liked it. I liked Harlem Shuffle. I liked Undercover of the Night, but I'm weird. But this sounded more like the Stones to me than that did.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Classic Stones. Good pick. I like your choice. Let's move to Howie. Howie, what do you want to offer for us today?
Already, I did a last minute pick myself. I guess 10 minutes before the show, and I picked a 2023 album, and it was the longest running #1 single. By Miley Cyrus from her album Endless Summer Vacation, and it's called Flowers. But my favorite version of it is the intro from Promo Only. It's got a 32-bar intro, and it just, the original itself was just like really like slow, slow, slow. But the promo only, it starts out like a banger that you could dance to at 118 BPMs. And kind of like what Brian does, I'll pitch it up, 3 to 5 BPM, for dancing. So that's my pick, Flowers by Miley Cyrus from her album Endless Summer Vacation.
If you can do stems on VDJ, take She's a Bad Mama Jamma, cut the vocals off of it, and put flowers on top of it. It's hilarious.
You started that, Brian, but you never finished.
Yeah, I know, but it's fun. You can totally do that. It's fun.
Yeah. Flowers is a tricky one to mix because she starts singing on like the 3 and 4 on the last beat, and then the whole bass section seems like it's out of where it ought to be because it's I can boom, and then it hits where it's not supposed to be. So the remixes I find work a little better. Not the remixes that take it too far away from the original, but intro outro beats are nice, like you say. And shout out to Nick over at Promo Only for helping us put that together because. So some songs it's just I want to play it, but I can't align it. It's not going to land in the right spot. So if you get a little bit of room, or if you can loop a few beats on the intro, that's a little easier to mix.
You can always, Flowers, if you had to.
And Jaded on that record too has also been a popular single too. And I believe the last one that she just released on that is I Used to Be Young. It's kind of a slower one, but those are all on that latest Miley record that are all charted. Or charting still. Used to Be Young is on the radio here in Boston at least once an hour. So if you got the right crowd, it's her reminiscing in her 30s of how old she's got.
Oh yeah.
She used to party and carry on. Now she's 30 and she's 30. She can't keep up the pace anymore.
2016, the old days.
I miss the days of her licking the hammer on the ball.
Oh boy, okay.
Oh, there.
Back when I was rocking a Samsung Galaxy S8, man, that was the old days.
Oh, stop!
Man.
I guess so. Good pick. And if anyone hasn't heard of Miley by now, I don't know what you're doing in this industry. So, but good pick, Howie. Like that one. Aaron is with us too. So, what do you got from the Great White North?
Well, yeah, I'll bring you up to Canada. You were doing a Twitch set the other night there, John, and I made a request on a song that you didn't have. So it's one I'm gonna propose to everyone to take a listen to. If you're a blues rock person, if you like that blues rock infusion, I know you probably would have thought I was going to go country on this one, but no. There's an artist from Canada. His name's Colin James. He's had songs that he's cut from Ike Turner. He's written with like all the greats and stuff throughout the years. And his debut album was self-titled, and it's Colin James. Self-titled album, Colin James. And you can listen to this front to back if you like that blues rock riff, and right from the get-go, the first one is more of a poppy commercial type introduction to his career, and it was with a track called 5 Long Years. And as I brought you into Blue Rodeo, and I think this is going to tie you in between the Blue Rodeo to say Bryan Adams. This is a great bridge between them. As Colin James, and
Colin, Colin.
Yeah, Colin James.
Okay. And what's the deal? Is he a singer? Is he a guitar player, or what's his role?
He's a killer guitar player. I've got to see him live twice, and meet a couple of members of the band along the way. I've been lucky there, and he's an amazing guitar player. He's really, really good. He is one of the Canadian great guitar players, and he'll stack up against anybody globally. Really, he is that good. And you go to a concert and there's a portion of the show where it's just him and he just lays into his guitar and he's blown away. You're blown away. His talent is amazing. The second album has got a very great rockin' tune on the second album. And I think it was like Step Something. I'd have to look at it. But track 5, if you've ever had a relationship that went south because of something the other person did or didn't do, particularly if they lied to you, track 5 on a self-titled, it's killer. Absolutely a killer album. So I'd like to throw a little light over to Colin James. The guy is phenomenal, amazing, talented. The albums I think he's got 13 albums or more.
Oh, okay. All right. So he's been around a while.
He's very established. Oh, it's very established.
Is he still out?
That's the most Canadian dissertation I've heard of a record ever. That was awesome.
He didn't say A more than 3
He
times.
didn't.
A?
He didn't have to.
No,
He's so Canadian. He didn't have to do that. That was awesome.
not at
Right.
all. But yeah,
like it.
Colin James, self-titled. Check it out. It's out of 1988.
I've heard of Colin James. I have.
Yeah,
heard-
I have.
And he's always solo. He's not involved in any other projects or anything that would.
Well, his
Well,
his
yeah.
other album was Colin James and the Little Big Band. They used to join him on some stuff. That was his backup band, and they're all like 5-star musicians.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, that
check
just
him out.
help our viewers, track him down a little better. So if
If you're a
wanna give
blues
him a
rock
listen.
lover, you got to check out Colin James.
Super great. That's once around the dial. Does anyone have anything else they want to add or volunteer before we close her up?
Oh, let's get the hell out of here.
Usually Eric's waving the fork when it's time to put a fork in it.
My wife took the fork away from me. I can't.
See, you're not allowed to have fun things out in the shed. I'd like to thank everyone for coming through. If there's an artist you'd like us to mention after you've watched the video, put it in the comments below. We always appreciate hearing from you guys. It's honor to be here, and we love hearing from you. So until next time, to the next episode of Record Roundup.